All right, here's Trent, Stay Bent Trent, and this is his new iRod from San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so stoked for you. You going fishing this morning?
Yep.
Where you going? Where you going?
I'm going to the river.
All right.
Yeah, it's just the river right here.
All right. Throw a couple of stickers in there and
Cool.
put it to good use.
Cool.
Send me a picture
Yeah, I
if
will.
you catch anything on it.
Yeah.
All right.
I will.
All
Thank
right,
you so
cool, man.
much. Cool.
Take it easy.
Cool.
Good evening and welcome back to the San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Please smash that subscribe, pound that like. We appreciate all the love and support that you guys are showing the channel. We made it to 1,000 subscribers, which was our goal, our short-term goal here. The comments have been going off. It's been great. We have a lot of interaction with the channel right now. It's growing by leaps and bounds. I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you for tuning in. A few things just to get us started here. Today we have Jeremy Smith, a local guy. We're going to be talking about the Neko worm and Neko rigs and some other stuff. He's been a mainstay at El Capitan. He's a San Diego local. He's been around forever. So great talk with Jeremy. Stay tuned for him. As far as lake levels go, you know, El Capitan they're still pulling water out of El Capitan. They are, I don't know what Sutherland is about. Otay is good. There's 3 launch ramps, three lanes open on the launch ramp. You know, San V has low water, but it's all open. And as far as fishing goes in those local lakes, in our local lakes, what do we got? San V, it's pretty much more of the same, broken record. 20 to 40 feet. Sometimes if you get on the right tree up shallower, you can really do some damage. There's some good fishing to be had on specific spots. But for the most part, all around the lake, it's like 20 to 40 feet, drop shot, free rig, Neko rig. And that's about it. That's what's going on. You can use smaller creature baits. Use that 3-inch Norries, 3-inch Norries Chibi Chibi. It's a twin Chibi. That's a good one. The 3.5-inch Beaver, Dole Live Beaver is great out there. Free rig. Start with a 1/4 ounce and then go one way or another. Sometimes they want it with a 3/16 and a slower fall. Sometimes they want that 3/8 ounce and just like bang, right into the brush. Especially if you're fishing 40 feet, you can get away with that heavier weight. Okay, so El Capitan, firing. Cap is just good. It's a drag bite. It's been a drag bite for the last 2 weeks. I mean, like a good drag bite, like worms, free rigs, Texas rig, Carolina rig, creature baits, 7-inch worms, 6-inch worms, drop shots. Go out there, drag some stuff around, anywhere from right on the bank all the way out to 20 feet. Find a good rock pile, stick with it, get your kayak out there, get your little float tube, put a motor on it, whatever, be able to move around and go out there and have some fun. It's been good. Big fish, a lot of good fish, a lot of 2 to 3 pounders. Go fishing. Go to Cap. Otay is very good in the morning. It can be very good in the morning, depending on this spot you get. It's a little spot specific. There are some schools that are moving around and up shallow, 4 to 8 feet, and you got to get on the right one. Harvey Arm is where most of the action is taking place in the mornings, and you'll see that with the boats, with all the boats back in there. There's a little bit of breakers, a little bit of fish chasing bait. When they do pop up, you know, throw your sonar minnows on them, throw a jig minnow on them up shallow, and you'll catch them, or even maybe you have a karashi. That's all still in play. Not much grass left, so it's pretty clean fishing at this point. And then once that tapers off, you're going to have to go out into deeper water and look around, maybe forward face some fish, and just do that. But the mornings have been good there, and sometimes it's on the buoy line, sometimes it's in the back of Otay arm, and I've seen both of those spots just bite nails, and then go out there 2 days later. You know, you see it on Sunday, then you go back out on Wednesday, and the fish is gone. Like no bait. It follows the bait, and then all of a sudden, you know, on the next Sunday, you'll see it in the back of Otay, or you'll see it in the back of Harvey or something. So you got to kind of look around. You got to kind of go fishing. It's not a lead pipe. Harvey is kind of a lead pipe, but Harvey's like, it's good to get some bites, but it may not be the best at the time that morning. So, but Otay's good. Overall, Otay is pretty good. Is pretty good. Murray, Lake Murray is kind of bitey. It's a little bitey, and the oh my God, and the fish are overall so small. And then what I can't even believe I didn't bring this up first off. 17 pounder caught at Jennings. 17 pounder caught this week at Jennings. Like, huge deal. 17 pounds, 9 ounces, 6 ounces. Anyway, like 17 and a half pounds, something like that. Caught it on a working class zero bait. You know, it's all over the internet. You can go find it on Instagram. You can go find it on whatever, Facebook. They weighed it there on shore. 17 pounder. The gentleman, oh, I'm going to kick myself. Ryan, I want to say it's Ryan. This is not his first giant fish. He's like a giant hunter. He goes out there and fishes for him. Congratulations on maybe the biggest fish this year in the United States. Right now, it may be the biggest fish landed largemouth bass in the world. That's how big it is. That's 17 and a half pounds. That's how big it is. That is a huge accomplishment. It's definitely the biggest in the United States right now. I don't know what's going on in Japan, but impressive. Jennings kicking them out. Between the 15 caught 2 weeks ago by Andy at Lower Otay, 17 this week caught at Jennings, you know, all of a sudden, it really goes to show you how good San Diego can be. You know, San Diego everybody knows it. I mean, from the 80s and the 90s, we had more record fish. We had more 15 pounders coming out of our lakes than anywhere in the world. Hodges one year had more 10 pounders caught out of Hodges than anywhere in the United States, including Clear Lake that year. Our lakes can be so good. They just need a little help. We just need a little help. Go to the Friends of Lakes, support the Friends of Lakes, San Diego Lakes. Friends of the San Diego Lakes, go and support them. Speaking of which, this Thursday, Matt Lucero is going to be at the La Mesa Adult Enrichment Center, 6 o'clock, free to the public. Question and answer. He's going to do a presentation. There's going to be slides. There's going to be all this stuff. There's going to be pizza. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be seats. Come on down. Adult Enrichment Center on the 5th, 6 o'clock in La Mesa, and join us. It's being put on by the Friends of the San Diego Lakes and the San Diego Bassmasters. Bass Club of San Diego is going to be supplying the pizzas and stuff, so they're also helping out. And we'd love to see you. We're hoping for like 70 people. Maybe we'll get lucky and get 100. That would be great. That would be awesome. Hope to see you there. And let's see what else is going on here. Friends of the San Diego Lakes, and I think that's about it. Let's get on to it. Let's get on to the juice. Welcome back to The Juice, everybody's favorite segment. It's crazy how popular it got. It's funny, I just did it on a whim. Today, we are talking about something that has been going on, and it's a player. It's a force. It's a force on the tournament scenes. It's a force on the you know, other days, whatever. It's been happening at a number of the lakes. It's been biting on, and I may have talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it again, if I did. And that is a lipless or rattle trap. That is about a lipless or a rattle trap. And usually it's a early morning thing. Being that it's spring or even from wintertime, getting the water temperature actually hasn't started warming up yet. It's still 58 degrees at most of the lakes. So red is a player, but don't discount your shad colors also. It so happened a few years ago, it was 2 years ago, I got on a trap bite at El Cap, and it was at this time of the year, it was in February, and it was all about shad colors. It wasn't red, it was about shad colors. When I talk about traps is a general, it's like a broad term. So when we talk about traps, we talk about, there's two different kinds of traps, okay? So there is the bottom bouncing trap, where you're and stopping and letting it swing back down, and stopping, let it swing back down to the bottom. Slack line, pick it up, and you're kind of ripping it, or maybe just lifting it off the bottom. And then what has been happening this year and last year has been really, the winding bite has been really a key player. So casting it out, usually around some kind of grass, and winding it, just casting it out, winding it over the top of the grass, maybe letting it sink 1, 2, and then start winding it back at a medium speed. If you feel it not vibrating or kind of getting hung up, you snap the rod, snap it back, and try to clear that grass off of it. Now the thing about San Diego and trap fishing is we have terrible grass. Terrible. It's the worst grass. This is not, you're gonna hear about snapping it out of the grass from all these guys from back east, and Gunnersville, and hydrilla, and coontail, and blowing through the grass. Well, that doesn't happen here. Does not happen. It's really hard to snap it out of the grass because we have like string grass. And so when you start coming in contact with that, you really gotta snap it. Hopefully it'll come off, but you don't want it to sink down into the grass. You wanna keep it like right at that level where it's ticking the top of the grass and maybe snagging it a little bit. Because if it gets bogged down in the grass, you're done. It's done, the cast is done. You gotta kind of tick the top of the grass. So what kind of traps are we talking about here? We have, I'll show you a few traps. Number one, San Diego number one is the LV 500. This is a 3/4 ounce trap, which is, it's not even a trap, it's an LV 500. It's a rattle, it's a vibrating crankbait or whatever. And it's loud. Is that a one knocker? Yeah, that's a one knocker. So there's a one knocker, and then the regulation LV500 is like this, super loud. These are some of the shad colors that I use. You'll notice that a lot of my shad colors are ghosty. You know, you can see through them. Another one that's kind of ghosty. And so that's an LV500. And then, and those you have to wind them faster, obviously, especially if you're going to keep them up the grass. I find that the LVs work really well for like bouncing them off the bottom, bouncing them off the bottom. But they also work equally, I'm going to say they work equally well as a casting vibrating crankbait, lipless crankbait. You just have to wind them faster and keep them out of that grass a little bit, with a little bit faster wind. What is easier to keep out of the grass is a regulation rattle trap. So you can see here that this is LV500. This one is 3/4 of an ounce. This one is a 1/2 ounce. It's a full 1/4 ounce smaller, or full 1/4 ounce lighter. And so it's a lot easier to keep it above the grass, you know, while winding fairly slow. But regulation rattle trap is my number 2 choice. Number 3 choice is a Kuru shad by Spro. This is a good one. I like this one for around here. Now this is the larger size. I like this smaller size, and you can see this size compared to a regular rattle trap. So it's a little bit smaller than the regular rattle trap. A Kuru shad by Spro. That's another good one. Had good luck with that. Throwing that around grass, Otay, El Cap, San Vicente. It's all good. So those are my 3 main ones that I use. And you can vary from that. You can go and find some Excaliburs or whatever. The TN70, the TN60 from Jackal, which is what I have one right here. This is a TN60 with the tungsten lips on it. Those are also really good. Those have been good for some giant bass in the past for guys. Now, what do we use as far as tackle goes? I think I showed you this rod and reel already this year, maybe. This is a rod and reel that I've started using quite a bit. And you can see here, I've already got a trap tied on it. And what I have here is it's an iRod Gen 3 Stone Cold Swim and Vibrating Jig. Now this is a 723, so it's a 7.2 3-power. Now, don't get this confused with the iRod 7.2 4, or it's a 7.3 4-power, which is actually called the Vibrating Jig or lipless rod. That's their lipless rod. It's called a spook and lipless rod. I find that rod great for ripping it out of the grass, but it's pretty heavy. So this one is a little more forgiving, has a little more action to it. It's a 3-power, and I find it a lot easier to use. This is my favorite rod for doing this kind of thing, for ripping it out of the grass with a LV500 or a rattle trap, regulation rattle trap. So there's my LV500. This rod is 7.2 3-power, 14-pound test. You can go 14, 15, 16-pound test. That's all fluorocarbon, and then a 7-to-1 reel. Now you can go 8-to-1. It's a little fast. It's easier to keep it up out of, maybe a little bit easier to keep it out of the grass, but the 7-to-1, I like the gear ratio because I don't have to slow it down too much. I can still kind of keep pace. And then I don't use a 6-to-1 because it's just too much. And so this is a nice medium to where if I want to bounce it off the bottom, I can do that. Bouncing it off the bottom is totally different technique than ripping it out of the grass. And I do use an 8-to-1 for that. When I'm bouncing it off the bottom and letting it sink, because a lot of times when they're coming and eating it off the bottom, they tend to slap at it. And you really want to be able to gain a lot of line. When they bite it, you have to turn the handle fast and then set the hook to get those fish. When they're in grass and they're coming up and eating it out of the grass, coming up out of the grass and eating this LV or eating the rattle trap, you don't need that 8-to-1 to hook them because they're going to grab it and you're going to get them. So this is a player this year. Rattle traps, and last year. It's not only this year, but for some reason they've really gained a lot of huge popularity. A lot of guys have been doing it. You'll see them, on any kind of flat area with grass, and the fish are in the grass. They're winding those rattle traps over the top. Chatterbaits also, but again, mostly in first thing in the morning. In the first hour, couple of hours, that's when your best fishing is going to be had. Low light conditions, you're going to need some wind. You don't do it, flat calm conditions, middle of the day, whatever. That's not the optimum time unless you have a really good school that you're working on. But low light conditions, get some wind, and find a school of fish, and they should bite the rattle trap for you this year and every year for that fact. It's a very good bait and it catches big fish. It wins tournaments. There you go. That's what I got for you for your juice of the day. Thanks for tuning in to the San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast.
Hey, how's it going, Bruce?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Okay, so this is recorded, so it's not like we're live or anything, and I can go back and delete anything if you want me to, or whatever.
Okay.
You can be as vague as you want. I tell everybody this, you don't have to go into specifics if you don't want to, but of course, we would all appreciate that. You've been on that side of the coin.
I have,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody really enjoys learning, that's for sure. And that's one of the reasons why we have such great guests like yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I just started, a new YouTube channel, just kind of for that reason, so I could share my passion for fishing and kind of maybe if somebody learns something from anything I'm posting, then cool, man. That's what I'm there for.
Yeah. So what really brought me forward with this, other than we were talking about who I should have on in like East County one day, is your Neko video. Like, you came out and you're like, check this out. This is what I caught my biggest bass on, is this Neko worm and rig.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? He's doing something there, and he's reaching out for everybody.
Definitely. So the Neko is my deal, man. That's sort of for the last like 3 or 4 months straight, like my every trip to El Cap, that bait has been in my hand pretty much.
Yeah.
And like been able to find fish up shallow, out a little deeper that way. It works for me. It gets bites for me. It's a nice subtle presentation. You can fish it as fast or as slow as you want. Like so I just it's kind of one of those techniques that has a ton of possibilities for it because there's just so many different baits you could potentially use for it. And it's kind of replaced the drop shot for me, like as this is what I do when I need bites thing.
Yeah.
And like I would say, so for El Cap, for example, which is where I fish most of the time now. I would say if you ask most people what their skunk buster bait was, they're probably going to tell you like a drop shot with a margarita robo worm, right?
Yep.
So for me, and that holds true for me. I've caught a ton of fish on that presentation, but I have gotten to the point where I have even more confidence in the Neko rig than I do in the margarita drop shot out there.
Yeah. So I am when I first started my bassing career, here in San Diego, or I guess I should say when I started again bass fishing really heavily, I gravitated towards the Neko rig. Like that, just like you're saying, everything you said right there is to the T of what happened with me. Like I started getting bites on it. I saw how proven deadly it was. And man, it's just a fish catcher. And it seems like, that it kind of took a back seat when the free rig came on. But in the last few months, especially with this whole Drew Gill and forward facing and whatever, and he's got special worms out just for Neko rigging, that it's really come back into the forefront again. Even
Yeah,
even more popular than free rigging at this point.
yeah, and I think, and I would agree with that. I think that's spot on. I think people slept on it for a long time.
Hmm.
Um, I cut my teeth on it down at Loveland Reservoir, actually, just from the shore. Just that's how I built my confidence in it. Go down there and catch a pile of usually small fish, but a pile of fish, and just kind of figure out what works and what doesn't there, and then took it every place else.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell me, let's get down to it. Let's get the bare
okay,
bones. Start
cool.
from the beginning. Start at your worm, and just go from there. And give me the whole what you're using, or what your favorite outfit is. Like
Okay,
worm, weight, old ring, hook, line, rod and reel.
okay. So I've got
Give it
some.
to me.
I suspected we might be talking about this, so I I got some stuff at the ready here to talk about. So if you want to talk about favorite worm, it is the Yamamoto Sensei, this guy right here.
Oh
Um,
boy. Yeah, my partner's not gonna like you saying that.
yeah, it was
Like
already
there's
on my. I thought about that, but it's already in my video that people have seen. So I
yeah,
figure it doesn't
yeah.
doesn't hurt
No,
to do
that is
that.
a
But
fantastic worm.
it's buoyant, so it stands tail up on the bottom,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I like about it. And so that's kind of my number one worm. Number two is probably just a 7-inch straight tail robo.
Yeah.
I
That was
I
that was that was my number one for sure. That
that
7-inch rowboat.
and I kill on that. As far as hooks go, so there's really two hooks that I use. I don't know how well these will show up on camera. So this is the owner's Sniper Finesse weedless Neko.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
got some glare, it looks like, but that's the those are probably my number one hook, but they're a
What
little
size is that?
size 2 for almost everything, unless I'm doing like a Magnum Neko, like a 10-inch worm or something.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then the other one that you guys have them at East County, and I'll always grab them there, so I have them in stock. Two are the Decoy Bodyguards, and those in a size 2 as well for
Yeah.
anything up to like a 7-inch worm.
Okay.
Um, the sort of next piece of it would be like I'm using these VMC crossover rings here, these guys.
Oh,
And
okay.
so the idea behind that, I don't know that there's any performance advantage to it. I don't know if it makes the action of the worm any different or anything like that. But especially with Yamamoto, right? They use that soft plastisol, and you end up, even with a regular O-ring on there, you're going through a bait every fish pretty much. So
Yeah.
the crossover ring was kind of a value advantage. And like I will often with those have the same worm on for an entire day of fishing now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is cool when you think
That
about
is cool.
the rising cost of everything. That's pretty nice.
$8 to $10 a pack for
Yep,
Yamamoto stuff. It's crazy.
yep, yep, absolutely. And then I just use the Matt Luna Essentials nail weights.
Okay.
Um, that you can get at East County Bait and Tackle. I'll order Naco once in a while if they do like a sale promotion, but any good tungsten nail weight will do the trick.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and as far as line goes, so I really
Well,
like.
well,
Go ahead.
hold on. What size of nail are you using for the most part?
So it really is going to depend on like how the wind and current is more than anything
Yeah.
else. I
Hmm.
will use the lightest weight that I can get away with. So I
Oh,
will,
okay.
unless the wind's blowing in the morning, I will start with a 32nd ounce because
Wow.
that slow fall will get more bites for me.
Hmm.
Um, and if the wind picks up a little bit, I'll go up to a 16th of an ounce.
Hmm.
And like if it's after 10 o'clock at El Cap kind of wind, then I'm at 3/32 of an ounce.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have I have up to an eighth, but I really the eighth only really goes in. I have like a Yamamoto worm. I can't remember the name of it. It's like a 10-inch worm, floating
Hmm.
worm. I use when I'm fishing that Magnum Neko rig. I will use like an 8 ounce because I'm typically trying to fish that out a little bit deeper.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but lightest weight I can get away with is kind of my
Okay.
philosophy on that.
Awesome. That's great. That's good dope right there. I like that. Because a lot of us will just slam a 3/32 in there and just don't even think about it. It's just
Yep.
like we're going fishing. But to
And
to
you can absolutely just put a 3/32 in there and set it and forget it the rest of the day.
mhm,
There's nothing wrong with that, but for me, like I just feel like I get more bites on the fall that way, and like
mhm,
not not so much right now where it's winter. You get a lot of mushy bites and stuff like winter bites and stuff like that. But when the fish are a little more active, I feel like 40% of the time I make a cast, let that cast sink to the bottom, and my line starts running before it hits.
yeah, yeah, nice, nice. So okay, so what's your line? What's your preference?
So I really like the X Braid X8. It used to be made by YGK in Japan, and now they're called X Braid, and they're distributed by Daiwa. You can get it at ECBT and any of the any of the big online retailers, but it's a sinking braid, so it has
Oh,
the same specific gravity as fluorocarbon. So,
mhm,
and I like that for bottom contact stuff. I use it on my drop shot rig too, on my spinning rods that I'm throwing drop shot on and stuff. Anything that I'm throwing bottom contact stuff on, and I'm using braid, I'm using the sinking braid. Um,
yeah.
so I use that, and then I found I was using Sunline FC leader for a long time, and I got a tip from a buddy of mine that so I like the Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon on my straight fluoro reels, the bougie
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
and
Oh, we all love it.
that stuff is also phenomenal as leader line. So
Yeah, yeah. No,
I
that's
actually
that's what I
use
use
eight.
it for if I can find it on sale.
Yep, yeah, sale is the key, and not pay
Yeah.
55 bucks a spool for it or whatever. But
Oh, it's crazy.
yeah, 8 pound Tatsu for is my leader line for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 8 pound. All right.
8 pound.
Yeah. You know what's funny is when I first started fishing a Neko rig, I don't know why, but I went right to casting gear and I was using 16 pound. Like I use 16 pound all the time with my Neko worms, 7-inch Neko worms. And I got a lot of fish, especially at San Vicente though. I think maybe that's probably what it was fishing wintertime at San Vicente when they kind of bury down in the towards the base of the bushes and you're just like breaking him off on the hook set. That 16 pound was a little tougher, but it still got bit. But since then, I have my tackle for Neko rigging has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Now it's pretty standard that I use 10 pound. Like I just start with 10 pound and then go from there, either up or down from that. But yeah, for sure.
I
So,
so I don't know if it's just a mental thing in my head or what, but I feel like I get more bites on 8 than I do on 10.
oh, I'm sure you do. I have no doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah. I like that little bit of security, that 10. I use a lot of 10 right now, it seems like. But yeah. No, you'll get more bites on it. Yeah,
So
you will.
I will bump up to 10 pound at a place like Barrett or
Right. Yeah.
even at a place like Loveland where there's just a ton of shallow brush,
Hmm.
Morena, someplace like that, right?
Hmm.
Where
Hmm.
I'll bump up to 10 for someplace like that usually.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your rod and reel now?
So I throw it on a BFS bait casting reel and I can get it off the
Oh,
wall here.
okay.
Give me a
Oh,
second.
cool.
Rather than on a spinning gear. Yeah, I've got here in my tackle room, I've got all of my gear. So this is the Megabass Destroyer P5 bait finesse is the rod.
Yep. Yep.
Um, it's a 6'10" rod. Uh, it's like a light medium light power. Megabass calls it an F3, which is like a light medium light in
Hmm.
casting power for them. Um, it's rated a quarter to 5/8 of an ounce, but I throw stuff lighter than a quarter ounce on this all the time
Yeah.
without any problem.
Yeah.
And just 6 to 14 pound line, and I already told you I'm using 8. So
Right.
and a Shimano Aldebaran reel because that thing just casts like smooth as silk with the even with little light stuff, even a worm with a 32nd ounce weight in it, I can sling that thing out there.
Are you using the Aldebaran BFS or the Aldebaran regular 50?
This is the 50. I do have the
Yeah.
BFS.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's on. I have a BFS hard bait rig with a different rod that's more parabolic for
Yeah.
little hard baits and stuff. And I have the Aldebaran BFS on that rod.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
So, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're amazing reels. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Huge Shimano fan. So you mentioned Morena and Cap and whatever. So what's your vehicle to get you to these fish? Are you a kayak guy, a float tube guy? What are you using right now?
I'm a kayak guy. So I have a pedal drive kayak, an Old Town Sportsman 120 PDL, and
Hmm.
it's great. I was a float tuber for a while, and I had a ton of fun with that. But your range is just so limited when you're just kicking, right? When you're human powered, it's
Yeah.
great for
Yeah.
short range stuff. But kayak, I have the range, and so
Yeah.
I can pedal all the way to the back of Cap if I want to in that thing. It's going to take me an hour and change, but I'm going to get there. Um,
Yeah, I know. That's the game right now.
but I'm going to be getting a spot lock trolling motor put on the bow of the kayak in a couple of months here, so that'll be exciting. That'll be a game changer for me.
Absolute game changer. Absolutely. Like if you haven't experienced it yet, it's gonna be like, why didn't I do this 2 years ago? you know. I mean, we everybody has said the same thing. We've all gone through that route, and they are so nice. You don't have to worry. You can rig your tackle. You can. It's not only for fishing. It's like for just hanging out.
Yep.
Oh my God. It's an absolute game changer. So good for you. I'm glad to hear that. You're going to get a
Yep,
nice
we'll
troll
put
motor.
one of those Minn Kota kayak Tarovas on the bow. We'll go to kayak fishing supplies and have them rig her up for me and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of of Neko Rigs and El Capitan. You just cut your PB recently, right? I mean,
I
tell me
I
about
did.
that.
Yeah, back on December 29th. So I went out fishing with my buddy Chris Brandt, the beef shaman, who you've had on here before. And we got our start a little bit late. I woke up a little bit later than I expected that day, and we got to the lake a little bit later. And as we were going to the spot where I caught the big fish, we heard the foraging for donkeys guy hooting and hollering, celebrating his 11 pounder. We didn't
Oh, that was the
realize it
same
was
day?
same day. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty cool. That was a pretty good day for big fish at El Cap.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so we went a little farther north than the area where the 11 pounder was caught, and I just started kind of working like sitting probably 20 feet off the shoreline, started out working toward the bank, and got a small fish working that way, and decided to try to cast out. There are a lot of little kind of rocky points that stick out in that area there, just kind of
Mhm.
out deep off that area right there in about 15 feet of water or so. And I caught my first fish of the day about 8:45 a.m. And the second one I caught with a PB bit at about 5 minutes after 9. And I was just kind of drifting a little bit in the kayak, and I noticed my line swimming off, and reeled down and just set the hook and thought that I had a tree at first. Um, and keep in
Yeah.
mind, this is on a bait finesse rod too, right? So
Yeah.
it's fun to catch 1 pounders on a bait finesse rod, not much less an almost 8 pounder.
Right.
Um, and she started ripping drag, and I said, Chris, I think this is a good fish. And didn't have any inkling that it was that big, right? I thought I had maybe like a 5 pounder on or something like that. And when she came up next to the tube, my response was, "Holy shit, this fish is huge!"
Right.
Um, and so I didn't even reach for the net. She came up right next to the kayak, and I just lipped her. And maybe not the smartest move in retrospect, but I landed her. So
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
something right. Like everything that needed to go right on that catch went right. Like
Yeah.
the hook set was perfect. She was perfectly hooked. I had the drag set perfect on my reel, and like the stars just aligned. It was awesome. And
Yeah.
Chris got the
Yeah.
whole thing on video too, which was super cool.
Right. Right. Yeah. And if anybody wants to check that out, they can go over to Beef Shop, Chris Brent's YouTube channel, and check it out. The Beef Shaman, right? He's got it over there,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
It's yeah, Chris Brandt the Beef Shaman is his channel.
Yeah. 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 He's a great guy. I've had him on here twice now, and
Yeah, he's
he's
awesome.
been spectacular both times.
Yeah, Chris is one of my good fishing buddies.
Yeah. So do you spend much time at like Otay? I see you. I think you fish Otay and San Vicente.
I haven't fished San Vicente in over a year.
Oh,
Just
okay. I don't blame you.
I don't I don't like dealing
It's
with
rugged. It's rugged.
with the ski boats out there, man. I don't like in a kayak, you're gonna feel like you're in a washing machine with all the ski boats out there.
Yeah.
And that and Sambee's, I feel like has been the same bite for like 5 years, right? It's like drop shot in 25 feet of water, like wash,
Yeah.
rinse, repeat, right?
Yeah. 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 We had no
So
breakers out there this year. There was very little bait. It was kind of dismal. It still is. I mean, there's some guys that have been. I mean, Craig Taylor's been catching them out there. He's been doing good. But overall, it's still slow with small fish. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully here coming soon with this warm weather, things are
Yep.
going to change.
I love Otai. So I caught the first bass I ever caught. I caught in 1986 at Lower Otai on a brown curly tail plastic worm on a split shot rig in Hardy's on.
Yeah, now you're dating yourself.
So yeah, yeah, the split shot rig was all the rage.
It
It's kind of
was.
crazy. People don't do that anymore, and man, it still catches fish.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
It was that was the thing. Like when I was a kid, like you said, 1986, and well, reapers were the thing too. And
yep,
but just a regulation split shot rig, and I used it. So I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna split shot today, and I ended up split shotting, and and I caught like small fish, like 12 incher, 13 incher, 12 incher, 13 incher, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe this isn't what I remember. This isn't how I remember it. I remember catching like 4 or 5 pounders on it. You
yeah.
know?
When I was a kid, like my dad was a driving instructor who worked up in North County a lot, so he would drop my brother and I off at Dixon, and we would just walk to shore. And I had like kind of BFS before BFS was a thing. Like I had a cotton cordell casting rod, like a 5.5 foot ultralight that I got
Mhm.
at the Fred Hall show one year, and a little bait casting reel on there. And I used to throw little split shot reapers on that, salt and pepper or
Yeah.
cinnamon blue vein. Or so the reapers, the 4 inch curly tail brown worm, and
Yeah.
the straight tail Western Plastics 4 inch worm and kiwi fruit.
Oh, okay. Kiwi
Those
fruit.
were those were the jam for me when I was a kid.
Yeah. That's another thing that I remember is we would never fish a straight tail. Like everything had curly tails on it. Flutter crafts, all the
Yep.
hand pours. I remember buying all my hand pours, even when I was a teenager, like in at Bob's Bait and Tackle up in Escondido
Yep.
and whatever.
Bob's Bait and Tackle.
It was curly tails, 5 inch curly tail, 4 inch curly tail, 5 inch curly tail, 6 inch curly tail, whatever, but of like a 5 inch curly tail. Texas rigged, but they were all curly tails, like
Yep.
everything. We never do it, never see them anymore. Never see it. That
I, I I learned to fish with a straight tail worm, and it kind of just remained one of my favorites. But my late grandfather was Jim Bates, who had the 1972 state record from Murray, the 1714, and
oh,
he's the person who taught me how to fish.
uh,
So and he 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 uh he taught me how to stitch a worm. Basically, that was what he did. His state record was caught on an 8 inch man's jelly worm in grape, and he was stitching it along the bottom at Murray. And
mhm,
so I learned how to fish that way from him, and that was kind of uh, I had good luck with the straight tail worm down at, and I fished a lot at Choice Lake when I was a kid, right? Because
mhm.
it was it's a free place. Your parents can drop you off there, or like my mom used to walk the track around the lake while I was fishing every afternoon, and I used to do well on the straight tail worms down there. Texas
Yeah,
rig and split shot rig both. But it does seem like everybody else was throwing curly though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of free places to fish, do you fish much at the San Diego River, like Magnolia behind the drive-in or anywhere?
I have really limited experience fishing down there. I
Yeah,
have a ton of friends that fish down there.
yeah,
I'm I'm interested in checking it out. I just haven't done it yet.
yeah,
So, but now that like Loveland is not an option when you just want to take it easy and shore bang or whatever anymore. That water's too low to be fishable right now.
right,
Um, another free fishing option would be pretty cool, right? Not
right.
dropping. dropping money every time you want to go to the lake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I fished it during COVID, and it's good. It's not. Well, I don't know. There's big fish in there, like giant fish, but it would seem like I would catch like for the day I'd catch between 3 and 6 fish, you know, and usually one was like a 4 or 5 pounder, but the others were they were solid fish, you know. But it's there's a lot to it, and there's a number of the lakes, you know. It's not just the Magnolia Pond; it's the next one down, and then you have the ponds down there by Friars Road and whatever. So there's a whole expanse of it, but there's good fish and there's good crappie in there too, surprisingly.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta get out in the middle. But anyway, somebody will probably tell me don't talk about that. It happens every podcast now, it seems like. Like I get messages now all the time. It
That's
used to
new
be,
territory for me. So I've never
yeah.
checked any of that stuff out down there
Yeah,
yet.
you should go down there. It's good. Sometimes it's crowded. Sometimes there's a number of float tubes in there. You know, you get if you get 6 or 8 float tubes in there, it's all of a sudden it's crowded.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, or kayakers. And so it'll get crowded sometimes. But it's an option, you know. There's definitely local guys. There's definitely a handful of guys that's their stomping grounds, you know. So just get friendly with them. I think you probably already know
I know I know quite a
them.
few guys that fish the river on the regular. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. All right. How about Sutherland? Have you been up to Sutherland lately? I
I
mean,
didn't
like
go
in the last year or so?
so I went I didn't get up there at all last season. The season before I spent a couple days up there and had two really good days up there.
Yeah,
Um I like that lake a lot, and
I
being a
love it.
being a being a kayak guy, I'll be able to continue to fish there even if the launch ramp doesn't open this year. So
So yeah, you know, it all depends on the rain, and this includes El Capitan too.
yeah.
Um, it just depends on the rain. So, but if it doesn't rain and if it stays low like that, like Sutherland is going to be really good. Like it's gonna be all that and bait is gonna be condensed down into that small pond. I remember when they did it to Barrett, and they did that. They pulled all that water down in Barrett. It was 2013 or 2014, and I think it was 2014. It was crazy. It was so crazy. The shad spawn at Barrett when the water was low. I mean, before you even moved your tube, you would have 60 fish. You know.
And
Oh my God.
Barrett is normally crazy anyways, so it
And
gets
yeah, right.
crazier than
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spent
So I would,
a lot of time at Barrett last summer.
yeah. And the shad spawn at Sutherland can be really good. And
Nice.
it's not like El Cap, it can be good in certain parts. Not Barrett like. It might be Barrett like this year though. You know, where they pushing him up on the beach and they flop on the
Oh man,
beach chasing shad. Like
those are
orcas chasing seals.
I miss when the water level was a little higher at El Cap and we had all that brush up shallow.
Yeah,
And man, they would push bait into that brush, and you could just
yeah,
chuck a white spinner bait through there and
yeah,
just cast after cast, man.
yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gonna take a couple years probably before that happens again, but it'll come. And the thing too is the on the positive note for these things, when the water does get drawn down like this, you know, that all that under that that growth in the north arm, you know, the trees, it just grows
Yeah,
up again and all that green, it
yeah,
turns green again. So when it does get flooded, you know, it'll be all that great, really good habitat up in the
yeah.
north again. So yeah, I mean, I hate talking like that or whatever, but it is what it is. And we've seen low water in the past. You know, San Diego lakes have been known for drawdowns. We just
And
got to deal with it right now.
as much as we don't like it, like the lakes fish good low, right?
Yes, yes, they do. Because there's just not that many rock piles. Literally, they don't
Yep.
have any place to hide. Like
Yep.
literally.
Yep.
So yeah, they fish very good with low water. Yeah. And it's like otai. So otai fishes the best when the water's out of the tules. Because when the water is super high, when otai is full, the fishing's the worst. Because all that fish is back in the tules and you can't get to it. And you can't, it's not that good. And it's super spread out. But when it's out of the tules, when that water comes out of the tules, that's it. They don't have any place to go except for the grass, and some channels. So they stack up, and that's when it gets really good. Yeah.
Man, I used to go to Otay when the water level was super high, when I
Hmm.
still had a float tube, and I would just go out there and flip toolies with a thin Senko and catch
Yeah.
20 in a day sometimes, man. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
was nuts. And the backwater behind there too, behind the toolies, when there was backwater
Yes.
out there,
Yeah.
I'd park my tube on the shore and I'd go mess around in that backwater and catch a bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of spawners in the spring. We've done some damage in the real high water and behind the tulies. But so, all right. I heard you're in a band.
I
I
am.
heard you. I heard that you almost opened for Power Man 5000.
Yeah, so we were booked
Is
for
that
it.
what Mike said?
Yeah, we were booked to open for Powerman 5000 at the Whiskey, and my guitar player got like deathly sick the day before the gig,
Oh,
so we had to cancel. Yeah, so that would have been a really cool thing, but there'll
yeah.
be other opportunities like that. So
Right on. Yeah.
yeah,
So you're the bass player?
I play bass. Yeah, that's kind of where the name of my channel comes from, because it's bass times two or bass times two, right? I'm
Oh,
a,
okay.
a bass player and a bass angler.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and I've been playing bass for a little over 30 years on and off.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the name of your band?
We are called 1020 Kill.
Okay. Do you play local here or what's the schedule for you?
We don't have any gigs right now. We're on a little bit of a break till probably March-ish or so, and then we're gonna
Hmm.
get together again and start writing new material and hopefully booking gigs. We play pretty regularly, like out in OB. Like they like us out there for some reason, and we're grateful for that.
Yeah.
Uh, so Winston's and like
I
the
was gonna say
holding company,
Winston's.
and yeah, the holding
Yeah.
company, and there's a cool little vintage thrift store called the Humble Heart down there where they have music performances.
Uh-huh.
And so those are all ages shows, which there's not really many opportunities to play all ages gigs in San Diego. So it's kind of cool. People
Yeah.
can bring their family out to see the band or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, stuff like that. We played at the Del Mar Fair this last year. That was super fun. Uh, got to play on the big stage, and they're like, man,
Hmm.
all their house sound was incredible. Like that whole gig was such a pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, my daughter, who is 18 years old, the 18-year-old one, she's been going to Soma lately. She's been going to all
Okay.
ages shows at Soma, and so she's just kind of dipping her toe into that whole live music scene. And she's coming back with it. She's like, oh my God, I couldn't believe what they were doing, what they were saying on stage. And the pit was crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah, you. Just love going to shows. I used to live down the street from the Belly Up. And
Oh,
so
nice.
I just went all the time. It didn't matter who was playing. I just go and see whoever, whatever, every week. It was great. That was a great thing to do, you know. I always loved going to shows. I was I was all in the whole rockabilly scene for a while.
Nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Went out a lot.
I
Went to the
still love
Casbah a
going to.
lot.
Oh, nice. Caswell's a great venue.
Oh yeah.
Very cool
Yeah.
place. I still love going to shows. I'm just too old to get in the front and deal with all the pit stuff.
Oh,
I'll
I couldn't
stand back.
imagine it now.
I'll stand back by the soundboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You go, kids.
Yeah,
You go get them.
you guys have fun with that, guys.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's been a great interview. You really gave us some good dope. That was good.
Thanks, man. Hopefully someone can use that and catch a few fish. It's an honor to get asked to come on here. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, absolutely. So thanks for coming on, and I'll let you go. I'll see you at the lake.
sounds good. See you, Bruce.
Okay. See ya.
All right. Bye.